Alright everyone, hopefully this works out okay. I tried recording this video just a few minutes ago, and the camera fell over, deck fell over, everything's going wrong. And it seemed kind of off-centered, but hopefully now it's a little bit better. This is my first EDH deck tech of the channel. I know I haven't uploaded anything in God knows when on this channel, but I'll be getting into that in a different video. But today, I just recently finished this deck. Omnath, Locus of Rage, is my newest EDH general, and I wanted to share the deck with you guys. This is something that I'm going to be probably doing more often on the channel, is more EDH deck techs. Again, I'll get to that in the future video. But, moving on, Omnath here is a 7-mana 5/5 elemental. With landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, we get a 5/5 elemental, one of these guys. And whenever an elemental creature dies, or if he dies, he gets to deal 3 damage to a creature or player. So the main goal of the deck is to ramp out lands as fast as possible and be able to just beat down with large creatures and big spells. So onto the mana base, we have 14 forests, which are not shown here, and 10 mountains. Temple of the False God, just providing 2 colorless mana. It's a nice ramp. Nykthos, the deck is primarily green, so being able to set this to green, we have a lot of green mana symbols in the deck, so it provides a lot of mana for our X spells. Oran Reef, being able to pump up the 5/5 elemental tokens, or any of our other green creatures, just seems very good. Colony Garden, early game blocker or an early game attacker equipped with a Sword of the Animist, as we'll get to later. Kessig Wolf Run, what red-green deck would be complete without a Kessig Wolf Run, let's be honest here. Giving a creature +X/+0 and trample, just pushing through massive amounts of damage. Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse, just being able to sack them and find a basic land. Works well with Titania, works well with other landfall abilities. Myriad Landscape, it's kind of like a hyper Evolving Wilds Terramorphic Expanse, being able to find 2 basic lands of the same type and putting them onto the battlefield tapped. Same thing here with a Blighted Woodland. It finds 2 basics from on the battlefield tapped. On to our mana fixing, Gruul Guildgate and Rugged Highlands kind of serve the same purpose. Tapped lands that provide a red or green mana. Gruul Turf, our bounce land that provides both red and green. Temple of Abandon, our scry land. Rootbound Crag, just again more mana fixing. Stomping Ground and the new Cinderglade are mountain forests that can be found with several of our different spells. Now on to the mana ramp of the deck. Sword of the Animist is a fun new one from Magic Origins that I wanted to try out. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and whenever the equipped creature attacks, we get to search our deck for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. Equips for 2. Seek the Wilds, I'm thinking about maybe changing this out with something else, like a Sylvan Ranger or something like that. It's a 2-mana sorcery that allows us to look at the top 4 cards of our library and put a creature or land card from among them into our hand, the rest on the bottom. Rampant Growth, search the deck for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. Steve, Secure Tribe Elder, whatever you want to call him. It's pretty much the same thing. Sack him, find a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. Burnished Heart, an all-star from Theros block. Being able to sacrifice him for 3, search up for 2 basics, put on the battlefield tapped. 2 landfall triggers, just awesome. Druidic Satchel, this is another iffy card that I might change, might not, we'll see. 2-mana tap, reveal the top card of our library. If it's a creature, we get a 1/1 Saproling. If it's a land, we get to put it on the battlefield. And if it's a non-creature, non-land card, we get to gain 2 life. So, we'll see. I haven't tested this deck out yet, so it's the first edition of it. We'll have to see. Natural Connection, another new card from Battle for Zendikar. For an additional mana, it's an instant speed Rampant Growth, which I think is awesome. The Cultivate and Kodama's Reach package, being able to find a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped, and another one into our hand. Very nice. Harrow, 3 mana, sack a land, search our deck for 2 basics, put it on the battlefield, tapped. No, they don't come into play tapped. It's just 2 basic lands on the battlefield, and shuffle our library. Nissa's Pilgrimage, a new one from Magic Origins that I think will be a very good EDH card, being able to search up for 2 forests, put one on the battlefield, one in your hand, and Spell Master grabbing an extra one seems pretty good. Farhaven Elf, 3 mana dork that goes and grabs any basic land, mountain or forest. Wood Elves, one of the spells that we have that can grab either Stomping Grounds or Cinderglade, whichever one we need. Explosive Vegetation, being able to find 2 basics, put on that battlefield tapped for 4 seems good. Skyshroud Claim can also grab Stomping Grounds or Cinderglade, whichever one we need. Into the Wilds, this one is probably going to be changed into an Oracle of Moldiah. For 4 mana, at the beginning of our upkeep, we can look at the top card of our library. If it's a land, we put it on the battlefield. If not, we just draw it. Oracle of Moldiah is just, you play the library, top of the library revealed, and you can play it if it's a land, and you get to play an additional land for turn. So that one I think is just strictly better than this. Nissa's Expedition, 5 mana, search your library for 2 basics, put them on the battlefield tapped for 5. Nissa's Renewal, 6 mana, get to search for 3 basic lands, put them all on the battlefield tapped, and you gain 7, so a little time warp with that 7 life gain seems good. Oblivion Sower works very well with Ulamog, which we have in the deck as well, being able to just take people's lands they have in exile, put them on our side of the field. And that 8 toughness is very nice for blocking other opposing titans. 6 mana, 6/6 creatures. This guy just gets in the way all day, every day, and just shuts them down, which is very nice. Hull Breach, getting onto our targeted targeted removal package. Hull Breach for 2 mana can destroy an artifact, enchantment, or both. Very nice at instant speed, sorcery speed, excuse me. Ground Assault, I thought it was flavorful, having our lands, being able to kill creatures for 2 mana. The number of our lands, it's the number of damage it deals. Crater Elemental, again, a really weird choice here, but I think it works just because it's an elemental. That sack ability triggers Omnath, so really we could do 7 damage to a creature instead of 4. And if need be, we can activate that formidable ability pretty easily to be able to get this guy attacking into the red zone. Frozen Grip, split second, is amazing, and destroying an artifact or enchantment at instant speed, also very nice. Reclamation Sage, another EDH All-Star, 3 mana, destroy an artifact or enchantment, and then get a 2/1. Beast Within, any target permanent is destroyed, and its controller gets a 3/3 beast. Again, take out lands, take out enchantments, planeswalkers, artifacts, whatever you need. Ingot Chewer, an elemental that we can evoke, destroy an artifact or just an artifact, this one is. And he also sets off Omnath's Bolt ability. Spite Bell is kind of the same deal, but he takes care of other opposing creatures. Onwards to our draw package. Elemental Bond I really like from Origins. 3 mana enchantment that allows us to draw a card whenever we have a creature power 3 or greater enter the battlefield, which is going to be often. Aggressive Mining kind of works into a small land sacking package we have that works with Titania. Sacrifice the land, draw 2 cards on our turn, and we additionally can't play lands, but that's not too big of a deal with all of the ramp we're doing. Garrick's Pack Leader, kind of like a Elemental Bond, but on a 5 mana 4/4. Nissa's Revelation, kind of like Green's Sphinx's Revelation, 7 mana, scry 5, and then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature, draw cards equal to its power, gain life equal to its toughness. Beastmaster Ascension goes on to our pumping creatures up, or giving them special abilities package. Gives our creatures +5/+5 when it has all of its quest counters. Again, swinging in with 10/10s is much better than swinging in with 5/5s. Fires of Yavimaya, why not swing in immediately with those 5/5s? Nihilea, God of the Hunt. 5/5s are not exactly that good when they get chump blocked by 1/1s all day. So Nihilea helps to cinch up that problem, and for that 4 mana we can give a creature +2/+2, which is, again, very nice. Dictate of the Twin Gods, making sure that our creatures are dealing double damage, and sources are dealing double damage. This can hurt us as well, but I think it's worth it. Overwhelming Stampede, just a very nice 5 mana overrun effect, giving creatures I control +X/+X and trample, where X is the greatest power among creatures we control. Berserker's Onslaught, giving our attacking creatures double strike, seems very nice as well at 5 mana. Onwards to just a couple of more utility spells. We're Ancient's Tread. Whenever creature power 5 or greater enters the battlefield under control, we can have it deal 5 damage to a creature or player. So acts as removal, acts as direct damage, whatever we need. Zundakar's Royal, kind of like a mini Omnath activation. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under control, we get a 2/2 elemental. Nice chum blockers, very efficient with Omnath's bolting ability. Warstorm Surge, just another Wear Ancient's Tread effect, except this is not specifically 5 or greater power. This is any creature entering the battlefield gets to trigger this. On to our 2 Planeswalkers. Freyalise, 5 mana walker that starts off with 3 loyalty. She can +2 to put down a 1/1 green elf that can tap for green. -2 is a naturalize, destroying an artifact or enchantment. And the -6 is just, again, just more draw power for us. Nissa Worldwaker, I feel like this is the first EDH deck that she really shines in, being able to untap 4 forests. It's very nice for ramping. There are other +1 making a 4/4 elemental. Again, the elemental creature type in this deck is very important. And if those lands go into the graveyard, it'll trigger Titania, which we'll see in a second here. As the next card. This begins our late game, how we're going to win package. Titania is just very nice. Being able to make those 5/3 elementals whenever a land is put into the graveyard from the battlefield works very nice with Nissa's ability to make them into creatures. And when she enters the battlefield herself, she gets to take a land from our graveyard and put it back on the battlefield, setting off landfall. Very efficient creature. Fido Titan, just a fun little card here. 6 mana, 7/2. When it dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of his or her next upkeep. Being able to have a 7/2 blocker that can just keep coming back seems very good. Rampaging Baloth's probably one of my favorite green creatures of all time. 6 mana, 6/6 trample that with landfall puts 4/4 beasts into play. Just, again, what green wants to be doing. Kamal Fisicrosa, a repeatable overrun effect that, pumps up our team. Just, what else could you ask for? Gaia's Revenge, another one of those big elemental creatures like Fido Titan. 8/5 haster that can't be countered and can't be targeted by non-green spells or abilities. And, of course, what landfall deck would be complete without Avenger of Zendikar? This is the promo copy. When it enters the battlefield, we get a 0/1 green plant for each land we control, and landfall puts a +1/+1 counter on each plant we control. Just very good card. Crater of Behemoth, probably the best overrun in EDH. 8 mana, 5/5 with haste. When it enters the battlefield, creatures we control get +X/+X and trample, where X is the number of creatures we control. Again, just very powerful effect. Ulamog, this ceases hunger. Works very well with Oblivion Sower, being able to get all of their lands that he exiles. And on the cast, exiling 2 target permanents, very nice as well. And just some filler spells, some other good cards here. Orcish Lumberjack is the second land sacrificing spell we have. Being able to turn forests into Black Lotuses, very nice for ramping, triggers Titania, just very nice. Green Sun Zenith, a creature tutor that can be shuffled back into our library, getting those key late game creatures that we need right now. Savage Twister, we need a board wipe. Savage Twister is probably the best option that we have in red-green, being able to do X damage to each creature. Genesis Wave, we want lots of lands, we want lots of creatures. Genesis Wave is going to give us both. Very nice card. Court of Calling, another creature tutor. This one is instant speed though, so if we need that instant speed Avenger of Zendikar to make tokens for blocking, we can, or just grab any other utility creature. Spellbreaker Behemoth, he makes it so that all of our creatures power 5 or greater can't be countered, and he's a very early game attacker, which is very nice. Creeping Renaissance, if we have lands that need to go back into our hand, this one is going to grab all those for us, or creatures, or whatever permanent that we need, this goes and gets for us. Green Warden, he's the new type of Eternal Witness card, being able to enter the battlefield grabbing a card from our graveyard. And when he dies, we can have him exiled and grab another card. So this one's pretty good. And the last card of the deck, Wave of Vitriol, being able to destroy all non-basic lands, artifacts, and enchantments. And we also grab basic lands for each one sacrificed this way. The non-basics, I believe. So very nice removal, very nice for landfall if we need extra triggers. So just a very nice card overall. So So that was Omnath. Hopefully you guys could read the cards and kind of, get an idea of what the deck's trying to do. There are some changes that could be made. I do not run a few EDH staples like Soul Ring, Command Tower, Harmonize. There's a couple of cards that I could add in, but I have to see how the deck plays. I literally just made this deck today, so I haven't had a chance to play it or goldfish it or, solitaire it, whatever you want to say. But thank you all for watching. Leave your comments down below. What do you think of the deck? What do you think of the setup? I'm trying to get somewhat of a decent setup here. I know you probably couldn't read the cards too well with the glare. I'm just trying to figure things out here, guys. This is my first time trying to do this on this channel, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. And thank you all for watching once again, and I'll catch you all next time.